Let's get started, shall we? Hello. For those of you who don't know me, my pen name is B.S. Warren. I'm the Blacksmith of Worlds and author of Young Monarchs, Last War of the Eight Kingdoms, which is this book right meow and meow. Today I'll be talking about the premise of Young Monarchs. I'll talk a bit about what inspired me to write the book as well, but I'll save that to the end. The story is the most important part of this video, not me. I'm gonna sip some pineapple juice and rum while I do it because I'm a G. So Young Monarchs, Last War of the Eight Kingdoms is an epic high fantasy prose novel that takes place in the spectacular world of All-Earth, where 8 nations of magic and advanced technology have been battling for millennia to carve out and defend territory. At the time that the story begins, the 8 kingdoms are locked in an uneasy worldwide ceasefire. The Peace Summit, which maintains the ceasefire, the Blue Moon Council, convenes in just a few days, and this year, each kingdom's proxy has decided to take their successor and have them sit in on the proceedings. That group of 8 royal heirs is the cast of main characters from whose point of view the story is mainly told. The main characters are visible on the cover here. We've got Prince Anubis of the Underworld, Bjorn Heavyhorn of the Beast Tribes, Drogheda of the Deep Wood, Princess of the Great Wood, Tetris of the Undersea Alliance of the Northern Oceans, Prince Tyrael I, Crown Prince of the Shining City of Heaven, Dragon Princess Kara of the Burning Empire, Trajan of the Traveler's Fleet, and Raiden, a storm elemental from Skyscraper City. This group right here has been enormously fun for me to write. You'll get to know them better in a later video, but for now I'm gonna stick with the premise of the book. So in Young Monarchs, you can expect to see a lot of awesome fantasy action, intrigue, drama, and outlandish shenanigans. Each of the main characters has their own unique struggle that they overcome, often with each other's help, and every setting in the book is designed to take your breath away. The story is structured very similarly to the Redwall books by Brian Jacques. There are 3 major parts to it. Book 1, The Blue Moon Council, is very intrigue-driven. This will be where the Peace Summit occurs and where the main cast of characters first encounters one another. Book 2, Ivory Falls, you can expect to see everything the heirs thought they knew get flipped on their heads, and pretty much everything will go sideways. In Book 3, The Kingdoms Clash, is going to be the grand culmination of all the conflicts and character arcs in the book. I've got some epic large-scale fantasy battles, awesome clashes between good and evil. The works, you're gonna love it. I've had people compare Young Monarchs to World of Warcraft, The Hangover, Game of Thrones, Final Fantasy, and the original Percy Jackson series. I don't want to use too many super popular comparisons because I feel like every new author does that, but the styles of conflict, the humor, and the behavior of the characters do bear similarities to those works. A while ago, I also had somebody note that there's a lot of Tolkien's influence in Young Monarchs, especially with my character naming conventions. I didn't notice that when I initially wrote the book, since it had been a few years since I read Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, but when I went back and read them, I saw that they were right. Before I start talking about more creator-focused stuff, I want to plug the campaigns for the book real quick. Young Monarchs is available on IndieGoGo and FundMyComic now. You can grab a digital, paperback, or hardcover edition of the story. The book is already 100% written, edited, typeset, and illustrated, so fulfillment is going to happen crazy fast. Digital rewards will be sent out the day after the IndieGoGo campaign ends, so that'll be Sunday, July 9th. Physical editions of the book will be ordered from the printer shortly after that, and then shipping will occur around the end of July to the beginning of August. Cool disclaimer about the digital edition, you can read it on Kindle. All you have to do is send the special file I email you after the campaign ends to your Kindle using the Send to Kindle page on Amazon. It'll show up as a document initially, but after opening it, the cover will load, and you'll be able to read it on any Kindle device with no problem. Also, the first 6 chapters of the story are still available to read on Wattpad now. I would be very honored if you gave them a read. They'll give you a great feel for the characters and the kingdoms and get you started on the story. So I initially conceived of the premise for Young Monarchs around 2016. I was inspired by shows like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Bakugan, and Kaijudo, where they had all these wild, superpowered beings from unique elemental-themed civilizations in other worlds. The original plan was just to focus on one character from one of the 8 kingdoms and then have him form some sort of task force with his friends to fight to preserve peace. But that didn't really feel right, so I shelved the idea. Later, during winter break of my freshman year of college, I returned to the idea and I was like, you know what? I can't pick one kingdom, so I'll just write about them all. So I sat down, binge wrote for a few months, and that was how the first draft of Young Monarchs came to be. I think I've covered pretty much everything regarding the book, so I'm going to call it here. I had an incredible time writing and getting to know all the characters, and every time I close my eyes, I can see the astonishing lands they hail from vividly. I genuinely hope that you feel the same way when you read the book and connect with the world inside it in your own unique way. Once again, Young Monarchs Last War of the Eight Kingdoms is on sale now on IndieGoGo and FundMyComic. Grab your copy and jump headfirst into the adventure today. If you want to get a supersonic start on the story, you can read the first 6 chapters on Wattpad. To keep up with me and the tomfoolery I engage in, you can find me on Twitter at BSWarren3. I also show up to the sensational Von Coleman's channel quite frequently. He's been very generous and he's allowed me to promote Young Monarchs on his shows whenever he has me on. Please give him a follow and give a follow to the lovely Phantasmagorical as well. She's been kind enough to do a video of Young Monarchs on her channel. Please head over and drop a like on that. It was very kind of her to take a look at the book. Thank you so much for watching this video, Seeker. Stay tuned for more videos on the characters and lands of Young Monarchs Last War of the Eight Kingdoms. Whatever you believe in, make it fantastic.